This is the reason why you should buy. And we're not asking the most important question, the reason why it was important for them, in their heart of hearts. Like, that's a sale. Then we're going to see results, the mindset, going into every opportunity, saying to yourself, I would love to have the business, but I don't need the business. When they talk about building their organization just through referral, that means they're missing it. The internet almost shut down because they're like, are you blind? Do you not know what's going on out there? Do you not see what's happening?
You just hit 250,000 cold calls. Congratulations.
All right, starting off our week the right way, I've got Jeff Giagnocavo with us in the house today at the Pipe Podcast. Thank you, Jeff, for attending today and being a guest of mine. I'm Crispin Cruz. I'm going to be your host today with the Pipe Podcast. Of course, we talk about sales process, sales initiatives, sales prospecting, and sales experiences. Couldn't be talking with a better guy about that than Jeff Giagnocavo. Thanks so much for being on, Jeff. The big ticket life, we're going to be talking about that. But hey, let's just start off by telling some of the listeners and viewers, like, where, what part of the world do you run, Jeff? And give them a little background on yourself, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, so I'm in Reading, Pennsylvania is where I call home. My main brick and mortar retail business is in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, which a lot of folks may think is Amish country, but it's really not. Lancaster City and really the expanding parts of the county and suburbs are turning into kind of little miniature Austin, Texas, I would say. And so that's the part of the world I run in. Look, I'm like a lot of guests on your show. I'm that entrepreneur, business owner kid that started at 15 cutting grass, put in a lot of time and effort over the years, figuring things out, failing, sometimes slow, sometimes fast, and arriving to the point I'm at today where doing life and business on my terms. And really, in a nutshell, I've this weekend, I finally, at an event I was at, embraced the word consultant, because it's just the simplest, easiest way to describe what I do.
You're right.
But listen, here's the thing is, I'm not a consultant because I failed in business 7 times and now I have to go out and do that to make money. It's because I bring a really, what I feel is a fresh visionary approach to people that need it the most. And that's the integrators and operators of the world. And those are the kinds of clients that I focus on now.
That's great. That's great. So let's talk about failing fast. Let's talk about that. I love when you just came up with that. And I think that could be, the name of your next book. I'm not sure, but let's jump into that. Talk a little bit about, with the listeners and viewers, what that sounds like in your world.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, if you're failing, it means you're trying. It means you're implementing. And if you're not implementing, if you're not attempting things, you're stuck and stagnant. And stagnant is things that people can smell on you. They get a whiff of it from like 100 feet away. And so at least be trying things. Yeah. I lead my team. I'm very blessed. I have my brick and mortar retail mattress business. I get to be in that business 2 days a week. And really, it's like 6 hours on Monday, typically. Well, about 7 hours on a Monday. And then about 4 or 5 on a Thursday is the current schedule. And they succeed and they lead because they take initiative, and I allow them to have that initiative to try things. And the only caveat is you got to understand why it won or why it failed. So we can have a conversation about it. And I want them to have, creates ownership. It creates a feeling of accomplishment. This was my idea and now the whole team's using it. But then other times it is that failure. And as long as we get to failing faster, so we don't spend more time on it, which is the worst thing. As long as we fail faster, so we spend a little less money on an idea that doesn't convert or doesn't work, that's good. Right. So failing faster, just get out there and start doing stuff. You got to try it. You can't build anything in this vacuum of perfection. You just can't build anything in that. You got to go out and try it. There is no perfect vacuum that creates the perfect idea. Blood, sweat, and tears does that.
Man, you are so right on it. I mean, and when we talk about, and you and I kind of travel on the same, in the same world. But man, when I go into a client and they say, well, how should we do this? Right? Let's go ahead and build these processes. Let's go ahead and build this, program. Let's take your knowledge, your decades of experience, and I'm sure you've heard this, and let's just go ahead and build it and then execute it. I said, man,
Right.
listen, I can't build anything in a vacuum and expect it to work. Like, I actually use that terminology. Like, it's just not going to happen. I mean, it has to be collaborative, because this is what happens, Jeff, and you probably get this a lot, right? Is that you're not just going into organizations and companies to help them grow their business or institute new process. I mean, sure, that's all part of it, right? But I mean, you have to
Yeah.
also, covet what I call covet the culture, right? And if you don't do that, I mean, forget about it. If you build it and then just execute it, what impact have you seen to the culture of organizations when people do that kind of thing?
Yeah, so I'm going to take a step back in what you shared there about the things that I do. So when you brought up about, we got to build processes and this and that, the Allen Iverson practice quote came in my mind. Processes? We talk about processes? No, that's not me. I am
Right.
if I take another step down from consultant, I'm a fractional chief visionary officer.
It's great. It's
And if
great.
you heard it subtly, and I say this as a dog whistle language, I work with operators and integrators.
I got
They
you.
handle the processes,
That's right. That's right.
right? I
That's
help
right.
them become better leaders to create that better culture.
I love it.
If I'm getting into their business, that's where I'm going in that regard. And I'm getting into their business because I see something with them and the ability of what they've built that's really good to take them to great and say, you know what, let's
Mm.
blow this thing up 300% in 5 years and move you in a position of choice. Whether that's you just cash flow this business and you get to sit back and enjoy it, whether you sell it, whether you bring on equity, but it's good to have options. But right
Right.
now, being the good old boy, the good old gal that just swings the hammers and pushes the paper, and you're good at leading teams and you're good at, you know, being profitable because you can whip that P&L into shape.
Hmm.
Like, that's cool, but nobody wants to buy that.
Right.
No,
That's
that's
right.
not going to take you to the next level of wealth.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to step back there. So as far as creating culture goes, I mean, that is such a buzzword. It is such a hot topic. It's like, if you're a speaker and you can put on a nice suit. I hate suits. And you can have a nice smile. My smile's a little jacked up. I got a crooked nose from all the fights I got in as a kid that got broken, never got fixed. So I can't be that speaker that goes on stage and talks about culture, but's never actually led a team. That's not me. And like, there's a lot of ways to make money around culture today.
Sure.
I make money around culture today by making sure my people are happy and fulfilled in their job and they feel like they're part of something bigger than just coming and getting a paycheck.
Mm.
And
Mm.
and that's what I would have to say about culture. Like, you got to dial into those couple points. They got to feel like they're part of something, and they got, like I said about, like, like I shared, that's my idea. The whole team uses that.
Right.
I woke up. He's no longer with us. He didn't pass away. Geez, that sounded really morbid. Andrew moved on in our company. He moved on. He moved out of the state to be with family after 10 years with us, and he was my team member that I had to work the most, had to dig deep on.
Mm.
But he came up with something in our sales presentation process that he kind of dubbed Technology Row. And it was really about how he showcased all the newest technology to our customers and mattresses.
Mm.
And he never said it out loud, but I knew every time I gave him a little nod, he perked up. Saw it in the body language. I saw it in the eyes. He was proud that his stamp, and he was never that kind of guy,
Mm-hmm.
but he was proud his stamp was on our process and a
Mm.
part of what we do around here. He was really proud of that.
That's awesome.
And I was proud to have, like, been able to push him into that position.
Sure. Sure. So let's talk a little bit about what is the big ticket life. Let's talk a little bit about that, if you don't mind unpacking it for our listeners and viewers as well.
Yeah, so I'm never, for me, I got a lot of ideas, and usually the first idea, it ends up being the right direction. It's just I gotta, because life has been this way. I gotta stumble through the mud, take a couple wounds. Yeah, so it's a little convoluted, right? But big
Mhm,
ticket life is I do big ticket products, bigger ticket sales. Typically, the things I am attracted to, the things I can bring the most vision to are those big those big jobs, right? Like the big home remodel, the big wealth plan,
mm,
the big home furnishing sale or mattress sale, the big deck, right? The HVAC guys, like so higher dollar value, low frequency of purchase, which means there's time and money to invest in the experience.
mm,
And if you do that right as a business owner, you get to live a really cool life. So
mm,
like big ticket sales with life, big ticket life. That's what I'm talking about. And really, the whole idea is you do life in business on your terms all the time.
mhm, mhm.
You
It's
know,
awesome.
like you kind of relish in going up to the line of conventional wisdom, sticking your nose across it and saying, "Go ahead and hit me. Go ahead." Right? Like I'm gonna do things the way I feel that's gonna be the best for our customers, the best for our team, the best for me, and in that order. So this way I'm doing life and business absolutely on my terms. That's what
Yeah.
it's all about for me.
So what happens and there's been times that you haven't listened to that voice, or you haven't followed your gut,
Mhm.
right? What happens then?
Wait, waste money and time. It's you get sucked into things you don't want to do, customers you shouldn't have taken money from.
Hmm,
All the bad stuff that you don't want happens.
right.
Um, like we a bunch of years back played the price game on Black Friday. Spent a
Mm,
bunch of money on advertising. It didn't move the needle at all,
mm.
not one bit. And you would think it should have. It should have. We recognize the value, but you know
Right.
what? Nobody cared. And what I learned from that is that Christmas season is not mattress season. It's Xbox season. It's scooter season.
Yeah,
It's jewelry season, but it ain't mattress season because it's a personal gift. And it's
right.
kind of weird to
Mhm,
gift a mattress, even from a parent to a child or a child to a parent. The
mhm,
best thing we can do is a gift card sale in that month. That's the
mhm.
best thing we can do because it removes that weirdness of that closer relationship of, hey, how you sleeping? What position do you sleep in? What kind of stuff do you do in the bedroom? Right?
Right.
Those are questions we ask, but we have permission to ask them. And it's not this
Mhm,
weird conversation between two people that really care about each other that don't necessarily sleep in the same bedroom. So
mm.
that's what I learned there. Like we tried to play that game, and man, I hate wasting money on advertising. I just as soon live stream burning it in the back parking lot and making a statement um, than wasting money on advertising that doesn't convert because I demand a good return on our advertising.
Yeah,
So yeah,
that's great.
that's what I learned when you get uncomfortable when you don't follow this approach of really trying to do it all on your terms.
Right. Again, in the sales arbiter training, Jeff, we talk about questioning strategies. We
Hmm.
talk about active listening. You just touched on it a little bit. You're like, we have the right, or we have the
Hmm.
permission to ask those questions and not make it weird, right?
Right.
And how often are you having that conversation with, your team members or those in your organization to say, "Hey, we have the right to do that." Like we should be
100%.
asking those questions because, it's in it's not just important for us to understand what their motivating factor is to potentially purchase our product and service, but it's
Yeah.
also we that's our mission, is to figure it out to see if there's a fit.
Right. Well, that word fit is like, what are schools use this a lot. They take a survey and then all the words splash up in some mosaic on a whiteboard. Fit for us would be right in the middle, the big one and the big boldest font with the
Mm,
brightest color.
wow.
that's what we're doing. We're finding the right fit.
Mhm.
Our goal is to find the right fit to see if our sleep solutions fit your sleep needs. And
Yeah,
sometimes we're not always a fit.
right,
And
right.
we say that, and that's a little later in the time that we greet. But I remind our guys about our process and about what the customer's going by saying it this way. If you Google, anybody listening, if you Google 830 Plaza Boulevard, Lancaster, and this isn't to get you to come to our store because this is a great show that goes worldwide. So the likelihood of that happening ain't happening. This is for the lesson. Google 830 Plaza Boulevard, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and you'll see on the little streetcar version, you'll see it's a big sweeping turn. And as you're driving that road, your eyes are reverted away from my store. It doesn't matter if you're coming north, south, east, or west. And I don't even know which directions it goes. I know as long as you're driving properly, you're focused on not our store.
Mhm.
And so I remind our team that like everybody turning in here is intentional. They're intentional
Mhm.
on moving this purchase forward.
Right.
Now, maybe they are truly just in the information phase. Okay. And that's fine. We got the process for that person. Maybe they're in that phase of, all right, we kind of want this over. We want to get this done. If they earn it, we'll do it. We'll get it done on this visit.
Mhm.
And then others are like, these are the guys. This is the place to buy. We're buying here. Right. And I remind them of that. And then it's coming in the door. It's like, okay, we're not a strip mall. We're not in a mall. People aren't wasting time to come here. Um, so they pull in and there's intentionality to further
Mhm.
that mission forward. Now it's our job to uncover where they're at. So the thing we do right out of the gate, tell me, Crispin, tell me why you're shopping for a mattress today.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then
That's
we
right.
shut up.
I love it. I love it. Shut up and listen. Shut up and
Exactly.
listen. And don't feel like, and don't feel like you have to fill that void with
Mhm.
noise, with your own noise.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, because isn't that really what it's all about? Is really understanding what is the compelling reason that drove you to the store today? What's that
Mhm.
compelling reason? Right?
Yep.
And I don't know how we miss that. Like we'll go into features and benefits. We'll talk about how it's built, the mattress, and how it's manufactured. We'll go into all of that stuff. And we miss asking the simplest question. Why are you in your bicycle today? What does that look like in your world? Now you wouldn't say it
Mhm.
like that, of course.
Right. Right.
But the reason to your point, Jeff, the reason that they're coming to your store is that it's a destination. It's a destination location for them. They're
100%.
purposely making the trip. So then the next question is, why'd you step through the front doors? Why'd you come in
Right.
today?
Right.
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 And
Yeah.
sometimes that
And
it's so hard to teach, though. It's so hard to teach because a lot of our, even our associates, right? They've gone to prospecting school. They know how to be a good prospect when they're making a major purchase, right?
mhm. Oh, there's
They
the road
basic
there.
there it is right there. They've gone to prospecting school, right?
Yep.
They know what it's like. They research, then they see if there's something in your value prop that interests them. Then they compare you to other brands, and then they walk in your door and they lie.
Mhm.
Prospects lie, and they lie all the time, right? And they say,
Yep.
"Well, have you looked at any other options?" No, haven't looked at any other. You're my first stop, right?
Yeah. BS.
they and that's right.
Here's
They know the pricing, they know the model, they know what they're looking for, they know everything about that major purchase. They just
Yep.
want to be able to like you, to trust you, and to believe that you're going to be able to solve their problem, right?
Yeah. No, 100% agree with that. Here's the interesting thing that when you follow, we call it like the tell me path of things, right? And
Mhm.
when you follow that, because we know buyers are liars, right? That's the moniker. That's the loving. Please, if any of my customers end up falling on this, please know I love all of our customers. I truly do. But I know y'all lie to us, and but we can't lie to you. And so how we reset that
Mm,
dynamic is with tell me. because
Mhm.
deep down humans are good by and large, and
Yeah,
they don't want to lie.
right.
But that lying is this defense mechanism to this really uh, good salesperson who's trying to reach in my wallet and take my money.
Mhm.
That's why they do it.
That's right.
But if you follow Tell Me, and if you follow this prescription of fit, and you say, would you be open to a conversation in our lounge to discuss how our systems fit your needs? See, good people can't lie too long.
Mm-mm.
And
That's
eventually the
right.
truth comes out.
That's right.
And then you become friends. And then you share stories. And then they give you your money.
Man, this is so good. I hope they're taking notes. I hope they're listening as they're watching as well. I'm telling you, I know note taking is probably not the in thing today,
Oh, I'm
but
an old
man,
school.
I mean,
You
they
have to.
can't lie to you for too long
Right.
as especially when you're building rapport, you're building
Mhm.
that trust. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
And
gold.
on that note of rapport, like I get in my way or in my feelings if I hear, hey, welcome to the store. Man, it's beautiful outside. How you doing today? That's garbage. Customer knows you don't care how they're doing. I
That's
mean,
right.
honestly, if somebody says a response to, hey, how you doing today? Well, you know what? On the way here, I got in an accident. And, that stupid turn you're on, I got in a fender bender. I've been out front for 4 hours dealing with the cops. Are you going to pay my insurance deductible? If I buy something, are you going to take $1,000 off for my insurance deductible today?
Right.
I mean, seriously,
Right. Right.
when people respond with, hey, how you doing? Do you really give? I shouldn't cuss on your show. I'm sorry. And I'm not going to.
You're good.
But,
You're good.
but like, do you think they really feel you truly, genuinely care about how their day is going?
No. No.
So why waste the time?
Right. That's exactly
Get to
right.
that truth point faster.
Mhm.
Tell me why you're shopping for a mattress. Fantastic. Oh, you know what? Hey, real quick, before we get started, who referred you in? Oh, I didn't see her. Nobody. Oh, okay. Did you get the chance to read our reviews? Oh,
Mhm.
no. See, that's a really bad prospect for us
Mm.
because 65% of our business is through referral, repeat, or word of mouth.
Mm.
And that word of mouth is reviews. And so we know the review one because, like, yeah, I read them. Like, I read a bunch. You guys have a ton, and you got these cool handwritten ones, and we do, and they're frequent. They're not like from a customer that passed away 17 years ago that scratched out a
No.
little thank you card when that was what you did in life.
Right. Right.
We get them today, weekly, in 2023. See, if somebody hasn't been referred and hasn't dug in and spent time with us, see, that goes back to that. Where are they in the mission? If they
Mhm.
haven't invested their time, which time's our most valuable asset we all have,
Mm.
if they haven't invested that time with us, they're somebody that I call the unwashed masses. Their expectations are what they see in advertisements and online ads. This fantastic mattress for $7.99, fix all your problems. And listen, we have products for people that are on that budget,
Mhm.
but it's not our wheelhouse. And sometimes it's not the best fit for them either.
Mhm.
And so if we've got somebody that's in the unwashed masses in front of us, that's like that. Whoa, let's step back
Mhm.
and we got to kind of pivot a little bit. We got to really work into the way we see impacting their life.
Mm.
And that's why we have that part in our conversation of, hey, my job here right now in this moment is to understand how your sleep needs fit our solutions. And sometimes that's not always a fit, but we're going to figure it out. Is that okay?
Oh man,
You open?
it's.
Are you open to that conversation?
I mean, you could rewrite that for any business,
Any
any any
business.
any business model, anytime. I don't care if you're in technology sales. I don't care if you're, in home improvement sales. It doesn't matter. Like you use that approach, then that's going to work to understand, what is really driving the decision process for your
Yep.
prospect. I mean, that's
Yeah.
just awesome. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, let's talk a little bit
Mhm.
about like a notable success story or something that, is something that had
Yep.
happened in your professional or even personal,
Yeah.
a life that has happened that you've been able to work through and come out the other end, in a good way.
Yeah. So to the statement of customers investing time with you, um, your marketing should elicit that. It should be created and done so in a way where they invest time up front before they get on the phone, before they send that email inquiry, before
Mhm.
they walk into your place of business. So we do that. One of the ways we do that, I authored this book called Sleep Better.
Mhm.
You can download it for free from our site. We'll mail it to you. There's a myriad of reasons it's not on Amazon and it's not really online because I license this out to other retailers. So,
Hmm.
like, Robert in North Dakota can't be the author of Sleep Better because Jerry down in Naples, Florida is also the author, just like Pablo in San Diego is
Right.
also an author. So, it could look kind of weird on Amazon. Like, you guys are all strange bedfellows authoring the same book together.
No pun intended.
Right, right. I did that intentionally. It was like my little dad joke of the day.
That's
But
right.
no, so we do that book because it fulfills that statement of how much time is your prospect investing with you before you get the chance to open your mouth and convert it or possibly ruin it.
Mm.
And so that investment of time is important. And so the success story, and I still even can't really believe I asked this question, but I asked it after I had about $22,000 in a credit card receipt right in front of me on a Black Friday. This goes back maybe 2014. And customer comes in, spends 20 minutes, invests in a $20,000 sleep system from Sweden, and in and out the door in 20 minutes. Now, as the owner, knowing that at the time we did a comfort guarantee on that level of product, so we're married, like we're
Yeah.
together for a few months after the sale. It's
Yeah.
not just take that money, go pop bottles and celebrate and like never think about them again because we don't one night stand our customers. We care.
Right.
I
Right.
got all the puns in the bedroom. Chris has been putting them up.
I love it. I love it. Keep
Yeah.
them coming. Keep them coming.
So because we don't one night stand our customers and because I care and because I'm the owner, I asked this question after I had the money. I said, I have to ask this, and I really hope you don't take offense to it. You were here for 20 minutes and invested $20,000 with us. What gives? He says, I've been watching you guys. I've been referred to you guys, which I knew about the referral, but the referral wasn't this level of product. The referral was an everyday average mattress sale for us, that customer.
Mm-hmm.
He says, I've spent a lot of time. I've read your stuff. I've been on your website, looked at your reviews. All you had to do was not mess it up. He's like, so you good? I said, Mr. O'Day, I'm very good. Thank you so much for your business. I will be in touch. He custom ordered the fabric on the bed. Like there was that element in the 20 minutes. So this was bang, bang, bang.
Mm-hmm.
But he probably spent 4, 5, 6 hours in total. And he's a very successful, very high powered individual in our community.
Mm-hmm.
And he invested that time prior to the sale. All I had to do was not screw it up.
Mm.
So
Right.
for you sales dogs out there, look at your marketing, go to the marketing department and say, don't say these leads suck. Because isn't that always the dynamic between
Right.
sales
Right.
and marketing, right?
That's right.
Go to your marketing department and say, how can we collaboratively have our customers invest more time with us up front
Mm-hmm.
so we can work easier, more efficiently, and find the right fit faster.
That's right. That's right. But
And then,
you did something that most junior sales people just don't even think about, and that's being brave enough, and digging deep enough to ask that question, saying and following again your gut and saying, wait a second, this guy just spent $22,000 in 20 minutes.
yep,
Something ain't right here. I better
right.
ask because I don't want to buy back tomorrow what I sold today. I don't want to do that. Right?
Yep,
I don't
yep,
want to do that.
exactly.
And especially in your business, right? And
Yep,
so that's not going to work. And so
yep,
now, so you have to, and you've got like, you've got a $22,000 sale in your hand, and you're post selling that guy because you want to make sure, listen, I don't want to send the truck out, go and pick up all the stuff and have to bring it back 2 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now, whatever that looks like.
Yep.
Right. And so that's critical, and again, when we go through the sales arbiter training program, and when we talk about that with our clients and all of these things that are in the outcome sales training program, that's what we're talking about, that too, Jeff. We're making sure that, hey, there has got to be a post sell, part that's also after the fact, because it happens more often than you think, and buyer's remorse is a real thing.
Yeah, it is. We send, I don't have any up here, I don't think. We send our customer, anybody that gets a $3,000 sleep system from the store and up, they leave with about $80 worth of True Flask, which is Yeti-like drinkware.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Really cool color. It's got our Less Snore, More Cuddle logo on it, because I'm kind of weird about, like, I know what advertising costs as a business owner. So right. I don't let people advertise on me for free. Like, I don't wear your company shirt. I don't let the car dealer put the little thing on my license plate and the sticker. You ain't putting a sticker on my vehicle. Right. Because I know what that costs. Now, if you were to present me with an opportunity to say, hey, Jeff, look, if you let us put the sticker on your car, we're going to do 15% off oil changes for life. I'd be in for that.
Sure.
So we have our people leave with something, because it's kind of weird just to give them a paper invoice and they spent $4,000, $5,000, $8,000, $15,000. Yeah. It's kind of weird.
Right.
All that joy is right there and we lose it. So they at least leave with something that's really cool and a really great color. It's a blue, kind of like your blue on the screen at the bottom.
Yeah.
And they leave with that. And then there's thank you cards that show up in the mail, and there's sweet treats that show up in the mail. And that I got a little package of that right here. Little box of brownies that shows up in the mail.
That's nice.
And all that gestates out about 6 months after, because now we're happy, right? Now we've gone through our comfort guarantee process. We've done consummated the marriage, so to say.
Yeah.
Now it's time for referrals.
There you go.
And I take a position this way about referrals. If my customers miss an opportunity to refer us, I want them to feel bad about it.
Mm-hmm.
They should feel guilty, because I don't practice on paying customers, and I loathe when I get practiced on. Loathe. Like that's one thing that gets me worked up. Mm-hmm. And so I work my butt off in anything I'm involved in, whether I'm consulting into it, if I've got direct ownership in it. I don't practice on paying customers. And so when I say my customers should feel guilty because they missed an opportunity to refer, it's not because I'm so arrogant to think I should always be on their mind and I'm in their bedroom, they're using my product for a third of their day, which are all true, but doesn't matter.
Right.
That box I showed you has a little thank you card.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can't really see it on screen.
Right.
But it's a 2-panel thank you card. Okay.
Yeah.
They rip off this referral card and they're instructed to put it someplace where they'll remember it so they can refer us. And then there's emails. And then there's our podcast show we do for our store.
Right.
Where we talk about, hey, we love your referrals, right? And we don't just like, hey, thank you for your business, goodbye. Like I said, we don't one night stand our customers, not in any way. But yeah, if you miss a chance to refer us, I don't like hearing that. Yeah. Because my marketing post-sale is working to get that referral.
Right. I love it. So before we close down this part of the show, let's talk a little bit about, Jeff, what would you recommend? It's an interesting business environment out there right now. Mm-hmm. I'm being conservative in the way that I'm describing it. Right. Yeah. So what would you say the 3 things that entrepreneurs really need to focus on through the rest of this year to make sure that if they're not doing these three things, then they're losing opportunity. They're losing opportunity
Yep.
to grow their individual businesses.
Yeah. So I'm going to preface my three things with this statement. I had the pleasure, because I'm a believer on personal growth and development, so I'm involved in a number of different groups, and I had the pleasure to sit in on a presentation from a when I say high level wealth advisor. Like, this guy's SEC statement is, I don't make any money selling anything. I sell my advice. In a nutshell, that's his SEC statement.
Wow.
He only works with 10-figure families that have wealth portfolios.
Wow.
So this guy knows his stuff. The environment that we're in right now has these two factors underlying it. One, the consumer base out there has $1 trillion more money in their bank account right now than they had in February of 2020. Now, you can want to deny that fact all you want. Here's how I would try to change your mind on that. We pumped $7 trillion of printed money into our economy in the last 3 years. I'm grateful that $1 trillion of it is left at the street level for me to go get. Two, in 40 years, customers have better debt to income ratios than ever before. So make offers around those 2 points: long-term financing, keep more cash in your bank account, more cash under your mattress. There's another little pun. I get all the fun ones. I didn't even get to say position changes everything in the bedroom, but I just said it. But the three things that I would share in this environment right now, one is do some research outside of your industry, like I just shared with you. Right? Like, if I'm a person selling on Main Street right now to a consumer-based, a B2C environment, I'm going to be, my ears and eyes got really perked up hearing those two numbers. Right. So get outside your little fishbowl, right? Get some new inputs. Here's some positive advice. That's one. Two is gratitude. We just came off of 21 was a fever dream in our industry.
Yeah.
Like, 21 was the high Olympic score that gets thrown out, just like the bottom Olympic score that gets thrown out. We don't measure our numbers against 21. We measure our averages. But I'm telling my team right now, every opportunity we got to work, is I'm saying, plug into that gratitude that we had in 21 and 22. If I look at the energy given to high times and low times, there's no gratefulness. I'm not seeing the focus and the same amplification of energy positively around gratitude that I am around, oh, it's hard, it's tough, we haven't had as many door swings. So level set yourself, be grateful, practice gratitude.
Right.
Right.
I love it.
Practice that. And then third, it's difficult, but it's a season. This is America. We're a strong ass nation.
Yep.
We've got so much great here, so much opportunity, and we'll get through this time. There's no doubt. We always have. We will.
Yep.
We are still the beacon. And I would say, because of all that negativeness that's out there, to me, that says we're greater than ever before. Because when people try to, when the reporters and the haters try to tear you down, that means you're doing something really right. So if there's all this negativity out there, it kind of means we're unbreakable. And so the third thing would be, understand that noise. Don't engage with it. Try to understand why the noise is happening and get back to your greatness.
I'm so grateful for having you on today. I mean, I hope that the listeners are just eating this up, and this, just these nuggets that you're laying down, I think apply for any entrepreneur, any business out there. And I want them to get that book, your book, go on and get a copy of that, because I'm sure that a lot of the lessons in there and lessons learned are also applicable to their businesses and to the environment, what's happening out there on the street and the environment right now that we're working through and working in. So it's just great. So this is where I typically pivot to the Sales Arbiter 7. Are
Yeah,
you okay doing that? So these
100%.
are just open questions that, and this is really why, Jeff, this is really why people tune in, is because they want to know all this, all these little tidbits about your background and your life. So
Yep.
let's start with the first one. Let's jump right in. What is your favorite word, Jeff? What's your favorite word?
Mm. Favorite panacea, because I learned it I think I first used it in like 7th grade, and my English teacher was so proud. And because I moved around so much, I never really did good in school, because one school was just starting a lesson, the next one I finished it. So
Yeah.
panacea means like cure all,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
or the ultimate cure all, and the ultimate answer. So I like that word for that
That's
reason.
good. That's good. I like it too. I like it too. So what is your least favorite word?
Hmm. It's two. I believe,
Hmm.
because behind that, you're typically going to find somebody that in conversation isn't really listening.
Yeah.
They're looking to speak over what you're going to answer back.
Mhm.
So, in the political discussion or the societal discussion, they ask you your opinion. They ask you like they care. You start answering. It's like, well, I believe. It's like, so you didn't really even give a crap about my answer.
That's
You just want to hear yourself talk more. And you want to build your argument on my answer. Okay, fair
that's
enough.
right. We've coined a phrase for that also. It's listen with the intent of listening. Do not
Yeah,
listen with the intent to reply.
exactly.
Right?
Yeah, that's a big skill. You got to
Yeah,
work
that's
on.
a tough one. That's a
Yep.
tough one. That's great. What's something that could make your day?
Uh, just happened. My 19-year-old was like, "Hey, Dad, I saw this journal. Where'd you get that?" I'm like, "Well, I made it." So I recently released a habit stacking productivity journal book that you use monthly.
Hmm,
So what would make my day is when my sons tap into what I'm putting down out there.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
What's something that could ruin your day?
Getting practiced on as a paying customer.
I know
I hate I
you
hate that.
really do
Oh, I
hate
hate
that.
that.
Tell
Yeah.
me where that comes from. So tell me a little bit about where that comes from.
Listen, man, people give you their hard-earned money. I don't care if you're making 60 grand as a two-job couple with a side hustle between the two of you, or you're making $600,000 as an orthopedic surgeon. I don't care.
Yep.
Your money is your money. My money is my money. Where I
Right.
choose to spend it, I want all the goodness that comes from that investment. If you're figuring it out, I came to you because I trusted you. I came to you because I thought you were the expert. Stickers quicker. I buy whatever your price is. I'm buying.
Mhm.
But dang it, you better back that up.
Yep. Yep.
You
That's
know.
great.
So yeah, practicing on paying customers is, I really don't like that at all. So I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not. But man, do we work hard. We work hard at it.
Yeah.
And sometimes things fall through the cracks and we own it, but it's rare.
Mm, that's great. That's great. You do want those to be the exception and not the rule.
Mhm.
So, what sound or noise do you love?
Being at my campsite about an hour before sunset,
Hmm.
there's a vibration. It's a vibrational sound.
Mhm.
It's breeze, it's birds, it's kids laughing, it's fires crackling. It's a vibration, and it does sound like all of that combined.
Mm, I love it. I love it. That's great. What sound or noise do you hate?
Any government official telling me I can't. Anybody with a governmental office saying you can't dot dot dot. Oh,
Yep, that's
stay out
just
of my
it.
business.
That's it. Stay out of my business. I love it. I love it. Last one. what profession other than your own would you have liked to attempt?
I'm fixing to do it right now. Be a country music singer.
I love it. I love
Yep.
it. That's
Yep.
awesome. Something that you've had a passion for and that you've done for a long time?
Well, so I got a guitar as a kid. I wanted a drum set. Couldn't afford the drum set, my parents, so I got a guitar. And it was a classical guitar, which wasn't nearly as cool as like, you know, what the guys in Poison had or Motley Crue had. But all right, so I had a guitar, played that as a kid, got away from it, came back to music in my teens, had a band. We made a little good run, did the music behind the music, before the music, got, you know, basically run off from our opportunity. And now I'm coming back to it. And so, yeah, but I'm approaching it in a little different way. I'm going to combine that with speaking to others about leadership and about their true role. So kind of like a little sing-song presentation. That's what my vision is there.
That's great.
And if the other stuff comes from it, you know, so be it, right? Like if the bigger stuff comes, so be it. But there's one last thing I'll leave your audience with, and then I'll shut up and let you wrap up your show.
That's okay.
Go where you're celebrated, not tolerated, right? And so one of my dreams is to be on stage doing music again, and because it's a high like none other. And I can be celebrated in those stage-like, conference-like, event-like instances. Right. Try to bring a big old guy to country music that grew up in Pennsylvania, not Georgia, not Tennessee, not Texas. I don't have that twang in my voice. I'll be lucky to be tolerated in Nashville.
Yeah. Right.
But I can be celebrated on the stages that I get invited to.
That's great.
Yep.
That's great. I love it.
Which is appropriate to anybody listening. Create your stages where you're celebrated in your selling environment. Goes back to everything we talked about today.
Such great lessons today. Thank you, Jeff, for being on. How do they get in touch with you? How do they find you? Go ahead and give your, the best way for people to contact you, to get to you quickly, because you've got such great background, such valuable knowledge. You know, I want to make sure that those that are listening and watching have the information to reach out to you directly. Yeah.
So Chris Castahead's fantastic producer. He's been putting that on the screen from my site. I don't even make you learn how to say or spell Giagnocavo. You just go to thejeffg.com, and that's my clearinghouse, if you will. It's like choose your own adventure. Maybe you want to see about this book, Sleep Better. You want to hear about the consulting. You want to see all the things that I'm doing, thejeffg.com. Just go there. It's kind of like choose your own adventure. However you connected with me today, hit that button. It'll scratch that itch for you, and we can further our time together on this journey, even if it's just in a small way, like connecting on Facebook. If you do send me those connections on social media, hit me up in the DM and let me know how we connected, because each one I have a metric of accepting those requests. And I don't just blindly accept them, because the downfall of that is you get these cold pitches and annoyances. And that's the second thing that really ruins my day. So shoot me a DM and say, hey, I heard you on Crispin's show. And then that's the cheat code to get in. But thejeffg.com.
I love it. I love it. Well, listen, thank you so much for being on today.
You're welcome.
I really am so humbled by the fact that you were on and that you were able to share so much with our listeners and viewers. And I always close every show like this, Jeff. So keep selling and have fun doing it. Thanks again.
Love it. Yep.
This is the reason why you should buy. And we're not asking the most important question, the reason why it was important for them, in their heart of hearts. Like, that's a sale. Then we're going to see results, the mindset. Going into every opportunity, saying to yourself, I would love to have the business, but I don't need the business. When they talk about building their organization just through referral, that means they're missing it.
The internet almost shut down because they're like, are you blind? Do you not know what's going on out there? Do you not see what's happening? You just hit 250,000 cold calls. Congratulations.